Since October 2023, the Gaza Strip has experienced one of the deadliest conflicts in recent history. Thousands have been killed, millions displaced, and debates over international law and humanitarian crises have intensified. To understand the current conflict, we first need to know where it is taking place. Israel is located in the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea in the Middle East. It shares borders with Lebanon to the north, Syria to the northeast, Jordan to the east, Egypt to the southwest, and Palestinian territories of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip is a narrow piece of land along the Mediterranean coast, measuring approximately 365 square kilometers. Despite its small size, it is home to more than 2 million people, making it one of the most densely populated places in the world. Gaza shares its border with Israel to the north and east, and Egypt to the south. Its limited land area and restricted border crossings have made the movement of people and goods particularly challenging. Understanding this geography, it is important because Gaza's location has shaped its economy, security situation, and humanitarian condition for decades. The roots of the conflict stretch back more than a century. Before World War I, the region was part of the Ottoman Empire. After the empire collapsed, Britain took control over Palestine under the League of Nations mandate. During this period, both Jewish and Arab nationalist movements sought to establish their own states in the same territory. In 1947, the United Nations proposed dividing the land into separate Jewish and Arab states through the UN Partition Plan. Jewish leaders generally accepted the proposal while many Arab leaders rejected it. When Israel declared independence in May 1948, neighboring Arab countries launched a military intervention leading to the First Arab-Israeli War. Israel survived the war and expanded beyond the territory allocated by the UN plan. The conflict continued over the following decades. In 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israel captured Gaza Strip and the West Bank. Although Israel later withdrew its military force and settlements from Gaza in 2005, it continued to control Gaza's airspace, maritime access, and most border crossings. In 2006, Hamas won the Palestinian legislation election. Following the Hamas takeover, Israel, with Egypt's cooperation on its southern border, imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and people into Gaza. Critics argued these restrictions have severely affected Gaza's economy and daily life. Over time, repeated cycles of violence, including rocket attacks from Gaza and Israeli military operations, deepened tensions and contributed to a prolonged humanitarian crisis. On October 7, 2023, Hamas launched a large-scale attack on the southern Israel. Fighters crossed the borders, attacked civilian communities and military bases, killed around 12,000 people, according to Israel authorities, and took more than 200 hostages back to Gaza. In response, Israel declared war on Hamas and began extensive airstrikes across Gaza. The fighting quickly escalated into one of the deadliest phases of Israel-Palestinian conflict. Urban combat, widespread destruction, and continued hostilities resulted in significant civilian suffering on both sides, particularly within the densely populated Gaza Strip.
The conflict has created one of the most severe humanitarian crises in the world since October 2023. Tens of thousands of people have been killed, with the civilian accounting for a significant proportion of the casualty. The extensive damage to home, school, hospital, and other essential infrastructure have also disrupted daily life. Hospitals have struggled to operate due to shortage of medicine, equipment, and staff, and while humanitarian organizations have warned of increasing risks of disease and malnutrition. The international response to the Gaza conflict is complex, and with different countries come with different approach. The United Nations has repeatedly called for ceasefire and humanitarian pauses to allow food, medication, and other essential supplies to reach civilians. Several UN agencies continue to provide humanitarian assistance despite the difficult condition on the ground. At the same time, international court have been involved. The International Court of Justice is considering legal cases related to the conflict, while the International Criminal Court of Justice continue to investigate a possible violation of international law, these legal processes are still ongoing. Different governments have responses based on their own foreign policy and priorities, and the United States have continued to support Israel and by stated that they have the rights to protect themselves. And many European countries have expressed similar views, and meanwhile, many Arab countries push for an immediate ceasefire on the war and increase humanitarian assistance for Gaza. Because countries have different political interests, reaching a unified international response has been difficult. This has made conflict not only a humanitarian issue, but also a major diplomatic challenge.